कल आप थे ना सेशन में?
जी भाई जी। शिखा जी और शिबा भाई जी ने पढ़ा था ना।
कोई पॉइंट कल से याद आ रहा है क्या? एनी वन इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट? कल हमारी मेन बात ये हुई थी कि जैसे अभी तक हमारी क्या अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि एक तो हमें पूरा अपना टाइम लॉग मेंटेन करना है पूरे वीक का कि हम कब क्या कर रहे हैं। फिर
हम्म।
सेकंड पॉइंट है कि उनकी कैटेगरी हमें देखनी है कि किस कैटेगरी में कौन सा टास्क जा रहा है। तो कल हमने कई सारी सब कैटेगरीज की बात करी।
हाँ, कैटेगरीज की बात करें और बहुत सारी कैटेगरीज थी।
हाँ, तो मेन कीवर्ड कैटेगरी है, सिर्फ इतना भी याद रखेंगे तो सब याद आ जाएगा। तो मैं थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ता हूँ इसमें।
हम्म।
For years, Caroline Cynthia Levin led university relations for Time Inc. This, along with her previous consulting experience at Oliver Wyman and Company and some recruiting jobs, gave her a lot of exposure to young people trying to plan their careers. CL is also a Juilliard-trained pianist and an improv actress, appearing regularly at the Magnet Theatre near Penn Station in New York City. She recently leveraged these various competencies, largely an ability to shine in front of youthful groups and make a coherent narrative out of whatever random idea you throw at her, to co found a company called Six Figure Start. This firm coaches young people as they try to figure out what do you want to be when you grow up. ओके, अगेन तो यहाँ पे एक और आइडिया यही है कि कौन अपनी कैसे कोर कॉम्पिटेंसीज को लेवरेज कर रहे हैं। तो इसमें कई सारे एग्जांपल देते हैं, लेकिन हम इंडियंस के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हमें उतने कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाते हो, लेकिन पॉइंट इज दैट लेवरेजिंग वेरियस कॉम्पिटेंसीज। तो इसमें कोचेज यंग पीपल किस लिए, व्हाट डू यू वांट टू व्हेन यू ग्रो अप। मैनी पीपल हैव नो आइडिया व्हाट द आंसर इज, पर्सनली और प्रोफेशनली। मुझे गाना याद आ गया, वैसे मैं गाऊंगा नहीं लेकिन। सो इन हर
वैसे गा
वर्कशॉप्स
सकते हो, ऐसा कुछ नहीं।
नहीं, गाने के बोल ऐसे हैं कुछ कि जब हम बड़े होंगे तो कहाँ होंगे, क्या करेंगे, नोबडी नोज, हार्डली, मतलब फ्यू पीपल। सो इन हर वर्कशॉप्स CL tells me that she often pulls out a signature exercise she calls the list of 100 ड्रीम्स। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एक्सरसाइज है इस चैप्टर की। तो आज का कीवर्ड हमें मिल गया है लिस्ट ऑफ 100 ड्रीम्स। हियर इज हाउ इट वर्क्स। At the end of this chapter, after the section where you can record your weekly hour tallies, I have provided a space to start writing down a list of 100 things you would like to do during your lifetime. अपने जीवन में हमें 100 बातें क्या करनी है, ड्रीम्स क्या करने पूरे करने हैं। दिस could be something as simple as 10 places you want to visit, 10 books you want to read, 10 restaurants you want to try, skills you want to learn, or 10 financial goals you have for yourself. चलो, इन्होंने बहुत सिंपल कर दिया, इन्होंने बता दिया कि क्या क्या हम लिख सकते हैं। CL says go ahead and includes one that you have already accomplished. Okay, like graduating from college, getting married, or having kids. You will probably stumped by the time you get to 100, but if you find brainstorming easy, then call it the list of 1000 dreams and keep going in the margins or on another sheet of paper. The point is to shoot for such a big number that you are not editing yourself or debating how improbable some of these dreams might be. Okay. Winning a Nobel Prize in chemistry and maintaining a niche stash of traders Joe chocolate covered caramels can all go on the list. अच्छा।
किसी छोटी भी वो बोल रहे हैं ना।
हाँ,
छोटी से छोटी भी मतलब ड्रीम
हाँ.
लिखने के लिए बोल रहे हैं ना वो।
Come back to this list several times over the next week or two as you think of more items. Here are some of mine. As of April 2009, when I started writing this chapter, attend a performance of Bash B minor mass, sing in the okay. इसको बहुत डिटेल में मैं जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, थोड़ा आइडिया लगा लेते हैं
हम्म।
बस. कमीशन अ मेजर समथिंग सी. ओके 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 ओके. ठीक है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें, मैं ज़रूरत नहीं है सारी चीज़ें पढ़ने
हाँ।
की. So there were several things on the list of 100 dreams that I have already done. For instance, I wanted an office with a great view, and right now I am writing this while looking at the Manhattan skyline. Okay. I have published non-fiction books and articles. I have lived in the New York City when I was a young poor intern living in Washington DC. I saw a fabulous painting of a strawberry hanging in the torpedo factory in Alexandria, Virginia. It was so bright red and vivid that I actually mentioned it in some fiction I was writing. That get a novel published item has been in the works for a while. When I began earning better money a few years later, I tracked down the artist and the painting and bought it. When you think of these things that you dreamed of doing and have now done, congratulate yourself. क्या बात है. Then it's time to look at the dreams you have not turned into reality. Okay, जो पूरे हो गए हैं और जो ड्रीम्स पूरे नहीं हुए हैं, दोनों को हम देख सकते हैं. Go through the list and start knocking off items that require just a few bucks or a few hours. After writing down my list of 100 dreams, for instance, I got a nosebleed section $20 ticket to a performance of the Bash B minor mass at Carnegie Hill. I bought a nice orchid for my office. Then CL calls this exercising the passion muscle. Okay, another important keyword. The experience helps people figure out what it is like to like they are doing. You will learn a few things by grabbing this low hanging fruit. For starters, you will learn that some of your 100 dreams have no business being on the official list. CL used to tell herself that she would love to sew if only she had time. She spent hours reading craft magazines and imagining the gorgeous handcrafted pieces she would make. So, when she was in a life transition herself, मुझे ये टर्म भी अच्छा लगता है, life transition. She plucked this item off her list of 100 dreams and made it happen. She signed up for a sewing class. It was an absolute nightmare, she says. It turns out that when the needle hit the fabric, she really did not want to take this off, take this on as a hobby. बहुत लोग इंडिया में भी सीखते हैं ना सिलाई कढ़ाई बुनाई.
हम्म।
तो I have never looked at a craft magazine again. That's how mental energy that can be devoted to other things. Okay. Likewise, if I win an Academy Award is on your list and also act in a play and you knock off the later with a community production of Evita and discover that the experience was not life changing, you can stop writing your Oscar acceptance speech. ओके, ये अच्छा तरीका है. मुझे भी ये लगता है कई बार कि बहुत जिस चीज़ की मन में ऐसी ड्रीम ड्रीम चल रहा है, थोड़ा करके देख लो और पता चलेगा कि वो है ही नहीं आपका ड्रीम. तो वो एटलीस्ट आपकी लिस्ट से हट तो जाएगा. बट मोर इम्पोर्टेंट, by trying lots of things you think you might enjoy, you will learn more about yourself and what you are actually good at, what might be your core competencies, and which of the biggies are worth going for. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लाइन है. ट्रू.
तो ये करते करते बच्चे यहाँ तक पहुंच जाएंगे, इसके लिए एक्सरसाइज होगी ये।
हाँ।
हमारी कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी तरफ जाने के
एक्चुअली,
लिए।
जैसे कि इसका मैं एग्जांपल बताता हूँ। मेरा एक फ्रेंड था, तो वो हमेशा कहता था कि मैं मेरे को मन है कि मैं पहाड़ों पे रह के काम करूँ, वर्क फ्रॉम माउंटेन्स। तो मैंने कहा ठीक है, कभी कभार जाना ठीक है, 7 डेज, 10 डेज, 15 डेज, कितना करना है। और ऐसा नहीं है कि आइडिया इज रॉन्ग, इट में बी ओके। लेकिन वो गया फिर वहाँ, तो उसने 1 मंथ के लिए वहाँ पे घर ले लिया। फिर उसने रियलाइज़ हुआ 4 5 6 दिन में कि वो बोर होने लगा। कह रहा है कि यहाँ की लाइफ तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है एंड इट इज़ नॉट फॉर मी। एंड ही स्टार्टेड क्रेविंग फॉर द सिटी वाला क्राउड। तो दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एक्सरसाइज। मज़ा आ गया इसमें तो। जी, वैशाली जी, आप कंटिन्यू करेंगे यहाँ से? दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंड।
That's what happened for Jackie Cambode of New Mexico. Back in the early 1990s, she had a fairly normal item on her list of dreams. She had just stopped smoking, packed on weight, and tipped the scale at over 200 pounds on her 5'4" frame. Since she was getting married soon, she wanted to lose weight and look good in a wedding dress. So she took standard next step to tackle this dream. She joined the gym. Her first experiences there as an overweight former smoker would have sent many of us packing.
ओके, आपकी आवाज़ थोड़ी सी ब्रेक हो रही है, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है। एक बार आप चेक कर लीजिए। मीन वाइल तिथिर, आप कंटिन्यू करेंगे? एन इनिशियल फिटनेस असेसमेंट।
An initial fitness assessment required her to step on a scale in front of various people, an experience she calls mortifying. She was told not to attempt anything interesting until she lost weight, and so, day after day, she did her requisite 30-60 minutes on the cardio machines. When she finally got to take a class, a minor a mirror queen aerobics instructor acted as though she were sullying the room's aesthetics by hauling her body in there. But here's the thing, she did not leave. It was not just a matter of persistence. Plenty of people trying to lose weight continue exercising despite a general lack of affinity for it. Combori discovered that she loved working out and in particular she loved group classes. She found a more accepting instructor and kept coming back, soaking up the gym atmosphere and losing 40 pounds quite quickly. Her instructor suggested that she sign up for a weekend certification course so she could teach classes herself. Kambodi was hesitant but decided to give it a shot. She got certified and discovered that she excelled at teaching. She loved learning new techniques and she loved choreographing combinations. Her own experience of being an overweight former smoker made her quite accepting of different body types, and her classes became big draws. Even as she stopped being in the overweight category herself, she ultimately lost more than 70 pounds.
जी,
Hmm.
ओके। अभी प्रणवी जी पढ़ सकते हैं। मीन वाइल।
Just a second.
या।
Uh, Meanwhile, she was still holding on to her day job as a non-profit fundraiser. But after working all day, she would still teach aerobics at night and come home and tell her husband only about the classes. Clearly, she was stumbling into a core competency. So she made a list of dreams in the fitness world. Chief on this list, opening her own studio. A few years later, she cut ribbon for Sand Fitness Studio in Santa Fe. Even having accomplished this goal, though she made a point of focusing on her core competences within the sphere, group fitness, and encouraging people of all body shapes to participate, Sante doesn't have expensive cardio equipment. It's not big, just one classroom that's packed with funky little props. And rather than expand to include more of gym, Cumboard is opening a second location with a similar model. Her 6 teachers cover yoga, dance class for children, and classes for seniors. Cumboard herself teaches about 15 hours per week. She released her first exercise DVD not long ago called Real World Yoga, Real People with Real Bodies, featuring shapes and sizes you will not see in fashion magazines. But she doesn't do personal training. It pays well, but it is not a core competency. Every time I wavered from that and did a little personal training, I have hated it, she says. It's pulling me from other things I want to do in life. Some of those things include volunteer work. Here too, she has focused on her core competencies. For a while, I was a kind of known as a warm up queen of Santa Fe. She says, rallying the troops before the charity walks. Since her daughter's elementary school doesn't offer physical education unless parents raise funds for it, she hosts an annual community dance. She teaches school kids a dance combination to, say, a hairspray number, teaches the same combination at her studio, and then teaches it to community members who show up on the designated evening. Then everyone gets to perform it. This has raised $3,000 in a night and also has the benefit of getting Santa Fitness Studio before hundreds of potential customers, for which Camboard make no apologies. If your community service can benefit your business, it should, she says. She also tries to focus on her core competencies in her family life, and she and her husband and 2 daughters do their own version of group fitness. Everyone hiking together, for instance. Of course, simply nurturing her daughters is a core competency in itself, and she tries not to foist her own interest on them. But she maintains list of things she likes and things she hates to do as much as possible, tries to make the hate to do ones go away. This is particularly hard for people who are caregivers, she notes, because it's not nice to say, I hate to sit and watch my daughter's softball game. But if you acknowledge that as being true for you, then you can deal with it. Maybe you go to a few games and invest more time in some other activity that is a core competency. I think Kambood's story is instructive because while Kambood had done a lot of musical theatre earlier in life, it would still take considerable imagination to look at an overweight former smoker who's working as a non-profit fundraiser and identify group fitness as a core competency. Indeed, it is a much of leap as figuring a Nobel Prize winning chemist might be a really good poet. This is why you just have to keep trying things, noting your reaction, noting what you learn from any experience, noting what you can scratch off your list and what makes you almost insatiable, as Combot puts it, to learn more. Is anyone interested to, or should I continue?
Meanwhile, you can also add your reflection on it, whatever you have read till now.
Mm, actually, I just came in the middle of the book reading, but then from this particular scenario, what I understand is she is a fitness trainer and she's also training her kids in the dance part. And what else? Just, yeah.
Actually, excuse me.
Yeah.
Actually, she started her weight loss journey. आणि
Mm-hmm.
है ना
Mm-hmm.
भाईजी और फिर उसका कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी वो उसका वेट लॉस होते होते
Mm-hmm.
वो कोच बन गई, मतलब फिटनेस कोच
Okay.
ऐसा।
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Actually,
So,
the central idea of this chapter is to why core competencies are important from time management perspective also,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
how to identify your core competencies. So the author started with giving examples of big corporations, companies, and organizations. Okay, how do they find their core competencies? That it comes to the individual also, individual part. So she
Okay.
suggested a wonderful activity: make a list of 100 dreams
Okay.
and start doing those things. So while doing those things, you will figure out okay, some of the things which you always wanted to do, but now you are not interested. Then take it off. Then you realize कि, oh, it was not my core competency. I was just influenced by something or someone. So gradually, this is the process of self-discovery. So in that larger
Yeah.
context, she is
Mm-hmm.
suggesting all these things.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I got the list of it now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. So you can continue. आपकी वॉइस
Uh,
है ना बहुत क्लियर आ रही है इसलिए मे बी
yeah.
योर माइक इज गुड और समथिंग
Mm-hmm.
तो
Okay.
या
So we are unfortunately here. We are right where it's
लाइक
at.
अ सक्सेसफुल मॉडर्न कॉर्पोरेशन
Just a moment.
या
Yeah, like a successful modern corporation, you probably don't have more than half a dozen core competencies. Broadly, most people's core competencies fit into certain categories. If you're in the right job or jobs, which the next chapter covers, then substance of your paid work will be a core competency. Nurturing your family members and close friends is also a core competency. No one else can do it quite as you can, though there are probably activities within this larger competency that you do better than others. As a confirmed lifelong free agent, I stink at teaching my son to follow directions and behave well in a group setting. His nursery school teachers who do this professionally excel at it. On the other hand, I tell pretty good stories. Ideally, your leisure activities are also based around your core competencies, things you do best and that you're willing to devote enough time and effort towards to make them meaningful. People who get the most out of life spend as much of their time as possible on their core competency activities and as little as possible on the other things. Unfortunately, if you're like most people, looking at how you allocate your time with this thought in mind is going to be a sobering experience. Many of us spend vast hours at work on non core competency activities. At home, we also devote far more time to errands and housework, generally not core competencies, than to nurturing our family members. In our leisure time, we devote vast hours to watching television or shopping. Few people classify these activities as meaningful or important. The next few chapters discuss how to change this first in your work life and then in your home life. It won't be easy, but the important thing to remember is that you do have a choice in how you spend your 168 hours, and you have more time than you think you do. There is extraordinary power in knowing what you want to be doing with your time. When companies execute with this clarity of strategic intent, they thrive. Who people do, they thrive too.
वाह बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है वाह मज़ा आ गया
Yeah.
मीन्स इसमें ये बात हो रही है कि हमें क्या करना है इन 168 आवर्स और द राइट जॉब ऑल्सो विच वी विल स्टडी नेक्स्ट फॉर
Mhm.
एग्जाम्पल जैसे अभी हम जो भी चारों लोग इस ग्रुप में हैं इस समय रीडिंग बुक्स हमारी कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी है क्योंकि ये हमारा लिजर टाइम एक तरह से है जिसको हम रीडिंग में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं बजाय टीवी देखने के एंड इट इज़ मीनिंगफुल और इम्पॉर्टेंट ऑल्सो तो काफ़ी इम्पॉर्टेंट है ये और देयर इज़ एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी पावर इन नोइंग व्हाट यू वांट टू बी डूइंग विद योर टाइम एग्जैक्टली
Yes. And I think he is specifying us to just put an eye on what are the core competencies and how you have to leverage that leisure time for these core competencies. Uh, yeah, that's what I understood. Yeah.
Yes.
Classifying your time into categories. After you complete the time log at the end of chapter 1, go through and put the entries into categories. Some of the most common ones includes personal care, including sleep, household activities, purchasing goods and services, caring for or helping household members, working and work related activities, leisure that includes TV, exercise and other, though you are free to use your own. Record your daily and weekly totals, filling in the major categories that are relevant to you. So this is a daily total. Okay. Then subcategories. You can use the space below to break the major categories into subcategories. For instance, child care can be separated into physical care, playing, education, and reading. Housework can be divided into laundry, food preparation, house cleaning, lawn work, and so on. Work can also be divided into different activities: phone calls, meetings, presentations, email, research, fighting fires, or whatever you happen to do. The list of your 100 dreams. What would you like to be doing in your 168 hours? Use the space below to list as many activities as possible that you would like to try or accomplish during your life. Cross off the ones you have done and note how they made you feel. Don't let the size of the page restrict you. Make the list as long as you want.
आई थिंक एक्सरसाइज करने चाहिए सबको, उसमें बहुत मज़ा आएगा।
Yes, yes.
तो हम ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं, जैसे अभी जो हमारा फोकस सेशन है नेक्स्ट 1 to 2 p.m. तो वी कैन यूज़ दिस टाइम टू लिस्ट अवर 100 ड्रीम्स एज वेल,
Mm-hmm.
नॉट इन वन गो और वन डे, लाइक
Yes.
ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ वीक।
Yeah, 100 dreams, right? So, your core competences. After trying enough different activities and looking back through your life, you may start to discover certain themes. Use the space below to answer these two questions. What do I do best that other people cannot do nearly as well? I think these are the ones which will make us unique from the other people. I think the author is directly, indirectly conveying that if you're, I mean, if you're acquainted with a unique skill compared to others, then that itself is your core competency. He's just trying to discover our own selves, I guess.
यस।
Right?
And
Okay.
those who are into coaching space or training space, this activity can be very good for group activity as well, corporate trainings, coaching training, everything.
Yes. So, what things do I spend time on that other people could do or could do better? Do I spend time on that other people could do?
It means matlab, this thing I need to cross off
Mm-hmm.
from my
Because,
dream list.
yeah, I think both are contradicting, right? The first
Yes,
point.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
So this should be doing more and more, and this is to be eliminated or doing less.
Okay. Okay.
Suppose I'm spending 2 hours on video editing,
Mm-hmm.
which an editor can do in 10 or 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then I should not be wasting my time on that. I can outsource it.
Okay. Okay. Again, is it something like you're indirectly focusing your energies back into your core competencies than
Yes,
wasting your time and the other things?
yes, yes, exactly.
Okay.
So today we have completed chapter 2, part 1 and chapter 2. एंड कल से हम शुरू करेंगे पार्ट 2 एट वर्क, मतलब हाउ टू फाइंड द राइट जॉब विच इज़ इन अलाइनमेंट विद अवर कोर कॉम्पिटेंसीज, so that we are not wasting our time, the right job. Wow.
Okay.
So we can keep our curiosity alive till tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
तो एट अ ग्लांस देख लेते हैं क्या इसमें आने वाला है. व्हाट डज द राइट जॉब लुक लाइक. ओके, बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग होगा ये चैप्टर, मजा आएगा.
Can you please let me know the author of this book?
यस, ऑथर इज वंदना, सम वंदना
Okay, yeah.
Let me show you.
Okay, this is a page of the book. Yeah, I got it.
Laura Vandekram.
One.
Vandekram.
Okay.
This is the front cover, and
Okay.
this is the index. Total 9 chapters, 4 parts.
Mm-hmm.
तो अभी तक we have done the myth of the time crunch. ये myth है, but we have more time than we think. Core competencies we have completed today.
Okay.
Now next maybe शायद coming week चलेगा हमारा पूरा at work. The right job, controlling your calendar, anatomy of your breakthrough. Wow.
Okay.
Then at home, the new home economics. Don't do your own laundry. मतलब outsource करना है a full life. बढ़िया अच्छी जर्नी रहेगी.
So, yeah, see you all tomorrow.
Are you joining us in focus session?
Not exactly. Actually, I'm busy for these 2-3 days, but then after 2-3 days, I would be getting time. But if I have this time of 20 or 25 minutes, I would give it a try, but I can't promise you.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
You all. Bye.
Right. तेज जी आपका अभी तक क्या टेक अवे रहा जो भी रीडिंग हमने की है? हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू अप्लाई इट?
अभी तक अप्लाई नहीं हुआ, पर
नहीं,
मैं
हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू अप्लाई?
means I note down my points, my dreams, but I think 100 dreams I can't note. Second, then